In the vast, sun-scorched necropolis of Saqqara, a discovery was made in 1898 that would puzzle historians for over a century. A French archaeologist, Unravel, was meticulously excavating a mastaba tomb, a place of rest for ancient nobles. Among the usual funerary items, a small, peculiar object was found, catalogued simply as a wooden bird. This artifact, now known as the Saqqara Bird, was carved from a single piece of sycamore wood. It was lightweight, weighing just under 40 grams, and measured about 14 centimeters in length. Its wingspan stretched to approximately 18 centimeters, remarkably straight and airfoil-like in shape. Unlike other avian figures from ancient Egypt, this one lacked legs, a common feature in bird representations. It also possessed a vertical tail fin, a feature more akin to a modern rudder than the fan tail of a bird. For decades, the object languished in a dusty box in the basement of the Cairo Museum, labeled simply as object number 6347. It was considered little more than a child's toy or a simple weather vane from the top of a sacred boat. The year of its rediscovery to the public consciousness was 1969. Dr. Khalil Messiha, an Egyptologist and physician, was visiting the museum when he stumbled upon the artifact. His background in model airplanes immediately sparked a different interpretation. Dr. Messiha saw not a bird, but a highly advanced glider. He noted the wings were shaped with a distinct dihedral angle, crucial for stability and flight. The cross-section of the wings appeared to be a modern airfoil, designed to generate lift. The vertical tail, he argued, was not a bird's tail but a rudder for directional control. This radical theory proposed that ancient Egyptians possessed knowledge of aerodynamics far beyond what was believed. The idea captured the public imagination, fueling speculation about lost ancient technologies. Proponents of the ancient astronaut theory quickly adopted the Saqqara Bird as evidence, claimed it was a model of a full-sized aircraft witnessed by or gifted to the Egyptians. The debate intensified, splitting the academic community. To test the hypothesis, several researchers built replicas of the artifact. Initial tests with exact replicas were largely unsuccessful. The models would not fly. The main issue was the lack of a horizontal stabilizer, or tailplane, essential for pitch stability. Without it, any glider would be inherently unstable and uncontrollable. Some theorists argued that a separate tailpiece had been lost to time. They pointed to a small notch on the vertical fin where such a piece might have been fitted. In 2002, aviation expert Simon Sanderson built a replica with an added tailplane. This modified version, when tested, reportedly flew remarkably well, like a modern glider. This seemed to vindicate the aerodynamic theory for many. However, mainstream Egyptologists remained deeply skeptical of this interpretation. They argued that there is no other supporting evidence for aviation in ancient Egypt. No hieroglyphs depict aircraft. No larger components have ever been found. The context of the discovery, a tomb, is crucial for understanding an artifact's purpose. Tombs were filled with items for the afterlife, which were often symbolic. Birds were a hugely important symbol in Egyptian religion. They represented the soul, freedom, and the connection between earth and sky. The Saqqara Bird was found alongside other bird-themed objects. This suggests it was part of a common iconographic tradition. The most accepted theory now is that it was a ceremonial object or an elite toy. It could have been a weather vane mounted on the mast of a sacred boat model. Such boats were common funerary items, meant to transport the deceased in the afterlife. The bird shape would be effective at catching the wind. Another possibility is that it was a high-end toy for a child of nobility. The lack of legs would make it easier to fly by hand. It might also have been a type of boomerang or throwing stick. The artifact has an inscription, a single hieroglyph for Padiiman, meaning the gift of Amun. This doesn't clarify its function but adds to its religious significance. The wood itself, Sycamore, is sacred to the goddesses Hathor and Nut. This further places the object in a religious, rather than technical, context. The airfoil shape of the wings could be coincidental. It might simply be a stylized representation of a falcon in a diving posture. Falcons, representing the god Horus, were among the most powerful symbols. The straight wings and flat body are characteristic of a falcon seen from below. The vertical tail remains the most anomalous feature for a bird. However, Egyptian art was not always strictly realistic. Artistic license was common to emphasize a symbolic meaning. Perhaps the vertical tail was an artistic flourish or a feature whose meaning is lost. The debate continues to this day, with no definitive answer. The Saqqara Bird remains a testament to the mysteries of the ancient world. Challenges our assumptions about the past. Was it a simple toy, a sacred object, or a blueprint for flight? The enigma is part of its enduring appeal. The tomb it came from, Mastaba Padiiman, dates to the late Ptolemaic period. This places the object around 200 BC, a time of Greek influence in Egypt. This era was a melting pot of knowledge, but not of aviation. The object's eye is represented by a small, dark dot, giving it a lifelike quality. Some have suggested the body resembles a fish more than a bird. This adds another layer of complexity to its interpretation. The lack of landing gear is a significant argument against the glider theory. Any real glider would need a way to land without destroying itself. Proponents suggest it could have been caught by hand or in a net. This seems overly complex for a technology with no other footprint. The material, sycamore, is light but not particularly strong. It would be an unusual choice for a functional aircraft model. The object shows no signs of wear and tear from actual flight. There are no stress marks or repairs visible on its surface. The original catalog entry from 1898 is brief and dismissive. It was re-examined in the museum in 1972 by a committee. The committee concluded it was most likely a ceremonial object. They cited the overwhelming lack of corroborating evidence for flight. The bird is often associated with the concept of the EA. The EA was the part of the soul that could travel between worlds. A bird-shaped object would be a potent symbol for this spiritual journey. The weather vane theory is supported by depictions of boats in tombs. These boats often had emblems of gods or falcons at their mastheads. The Saqqara bird would fit perfectly in this role, both physically and symbolically. Its shape is elegant and stylized, consistent with Egyptian aesthetics. The mystery is more compelling than the likely reality. It forces us to question the limits of our historical knowledge. The artifact was carved with simple tools available at the time. There is no evidence of advanced technology in its construction. Wings are slightly curved, which could provide some lift. However, this curvature is also common in artistic depictions of bird wings. The object feels balanced when held, adding to its tactile appeal. This balance might suggest it was designed to be thrown or held aloft. Ultimately, the object is an outlier, a beautiful anomaly. It doesn't fit neatly into any established category of artifact. The story of the Saqqara bird is a lesson in interpretation. We often see what we want to see in the relics of the past. The allure of a technologically advanced past is strong, but the simpler explanation is usually the more likely one. Bird is a product of its time, the Ptolemaic period. This period saw a fusion of Egyptian and Hellenistic art styles. The bird's form could be a result of this artistic syncretism. The vertical tail might be a stylized version of a falcon's tail feathers. In profile, a falcon's tail can appear as a single vertical element. The object was likely painted, though most of the paint is worn away. These colors would have given it more detail and context. Imagine it with the detailed markings of a peregrine falcon. The airplane theory is an example of presentism. This is the tendency to interpret past events in terms of modern values and concepts. We see an airfoil because we live in an age of flight. An ancient Egyptian would have seen a falcon, a symbol of a god. The bird was moved to the new Grand Egyptian Museum in 2021. It remains one of the most talked about artifacts in its collection. Its story has been featured in countless documentaries and books. The truth may never be known for certain. This ambiguity is what gives the Saqqara bird its power. It is a beautiful object, regardless of its original purpose. Its smooth lines and simple form are undeniably pleasing to the eye. The artifact continues to inspire wonder and debate among all who see it. It represents a tangible link to the ingenuity of the past. The tomb where it was found was not for a pharaoh, but a noble. This suggests such objects might have been more common than we think. Perhaps many similar items have been lost or misidentified over the years. The bird's head is tilted slightly, as if observing its surroundings. This artistic choice adds a dynamic quality to the static object. The glider theory gained traction during a period of intense public interest in UFOs. This cultural context is essential for understanding the theory's popularity. Modern CT scans have confirmed it is made of a single, solid piece of wood. This rules out any hidden internal mechanisms. The debate over the Saqqara bird is a classic case of fringe versus mainstream archaeology. While the fringe theory is exciting, the evidence supports the mainstream view. The object is a masterclass in stylized, minimalist interface. It conveys the essence of a falcon with very few details. The lack of a horizontal stabilizer remains the theory's Achilles heel. No amount of speculation can create a missing piece of an artifact. The bird is a reminder that not all ancient questions have answers. It invites us to imagine and to wonder, which is a gift in itself. Saqqara necropolis itself is a place of endless discovery. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle of ancient Egypt. The Saqqara bird is one of its most fascinating and debated pieces. Its flight may have only ever been in the hands of a child or the winds of the Nile. Yet, it continues to fly in the realm of human imagination. The wood shows a clear grain, indicating the direction of the carving. Experts in woodworking have analyzed its construction. They confirm it could be made with a simple bronze knife and sandpaper. The symmetry of the object is remarkable for being handmade. This precision suggests it was made by a skilled craftsman. The theory of it being a child's toy is very plausible. Toys in ancient Egypt often mimicked objects from the adult world. A toy bird would be a common and beloved object for a child. The bird's smooth, legless form makes it safe and easy for a child to handle. The alternative weather vane theory also holds significant weight. The Nile was the highway of ancient Egypt, and boats were central to life. Decorating these boats was a way to show piety and status. A falcon emblem, turning in the wind, would be a powerful sight. The object remains silent, offering no definitive clues. Its purpose is lost, swallowed by the sands of time from which it came.